Everybody got their phones turned down or off? Call meeting to order. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call down.
Martyr,
Here.
Macer,
Here.
Schneider,
Here.
Sofa,
Here.
Wilson,
Here.
Weaver, Zimmer.
Here.
All right, non-agenda items from the sidelines. First up, Christopher Phillips, the Eagle Project.
Hi, everybody. My name is.
Can you go to the podium?
Sorry, my bad. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Phillips, and this is my dad, Joe Phillips. He's passing out papers for my Eagle Scout presentation, and I'm here tonight to speak with the City Council about receiving approval for my Eagle Scout rank project. So, over the past year, I put a lot of thought into what I want my Eagle Scout project to be. I went through countless ideas that caught my eye, but none of them really sounded all that interesting to me. Till someone brought to my attention that Millennium Park could use an upgrade in terms of entertainment opportunities. And I realized that I might be able to help with something like that by doing so by putting in a music gazebo for bands to put on small concerts and shows. Also, people could use it for a small reading area as it is near the city library. Even just as a rest area to, beat the heat, get a nice shady spot that people could sit in. The dimensions will be approximately 14 by 14 feet, located at the center west boundary or the northwest corner of the park. Our final decisions on design, dimensions, and location in the park are still being worked out during our planning phase or designing stages. I believe that this would be a good addition to the park because there isn't really a designated area for these specific purposes in this portion of the city. It would be a nice and comfortable area for people to sit and relax, and there would be also so many different ways to use this new addition to the park. I will also make this in dedication to my grandfather, Robert Phillips I, and Audra Scribner, who were two former longtime educators in Memphis schools. We're currently looking at designs of gazebo kits that are no bigger than 14 by 14 feet. The easiest location with the least impact on the current layout of the park would be the northwest corner. However, we would center it on the rear boundary of the park because it might be more kind of aesthetically pleasing, if you will. I would present plans for both options for final approval before the project would begin. Also, I would secure all funding needed with a surplus for contingencies before anything would even be done. Tonight, I would like to ask if the city would approve my preliminary project plan so I can submit it to the BSA Council for their approval. Once the approvals have been made, I can move forward with the final designs, final location, budget, and project timeline. I'm hoping the city will help provide me with direction for needed approvals, permits, or requirements that I need to follow while I put these final plans together. In the city of Memphis, if the city of Memphis would agree to partner with me in this project, I believe that together we can make this a place that can be enjoyed by generations for years to come, and while same commemorating two educators that have touched so many people's hearts in our small town. I plan hopefully to carry out this project as soon as all the approvals I need are made, and hope to be complete no later than spring of 2024. I want to thank you all for your time and consideration, and hope that you are in support of my project.
So back on the location, so you're looking at kind of like the southwest corner of the park, is that right?
Maybe the northwest corner.
Northwest?
This way.
There's a park bench right there.
Oh,
Yeah, where the bench is.
Replace that with a gazebo.
Replace the bench with the gazebo, basically?
Yeah, 14 might be a little big. No,
Yeah, the
no.
size
No
is,
big.
The sizes and all that kind of stuff is, this is just for a preliminary that he has to turn into the scout council. Once it's turned into them and they get from your approval, then we'll actually go into detailed planning, drawings, all that kind of good stuff. And before he did anything at all, it would have to be approved by you guys.
Make sure it's gonna fit.
And then we
Exactly.
do have sprinkler systems that will probably have to get relocated. There is power very near where he wants to
Right,
put
as I
that.
say, you just put the.
So he could
power
have a
in.
light or.
There's
all
room
that.
for the tree, the Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And now, there was some talk, because whoever donated the other stuff that's been, the work that's been done there, has anyone talked to them? Have they cooled down a little bit, or?
We haven't
Haven't spoken?
communicated since. I was kind of led to believe that it wasn't their park.
It's not, you know.
And, you know, if the city says that we can do
It's a
this,
city park.
Mm-hmm.
And you just wanna,
And really, where
dedicate
your
the
location's
gazebo.
going, doesn't seem like it's
Not
really
the
very
park.
nice with those
No, not
flowers.
the whole
The
park, just the
gazebo.
gazebo, yes.
it still gives them the walk to the fountain and,
Yeah, about the only thing it would really impact, if we do it on the corner, the only thing it would really impact would be that bird bath that's there would have to be relocated, and the park bench that's there would have to be relocated. If we did it on the center back area, the center would be the west border on the center, there'd be a lot of impact. We'd have to redesign that, all those flowers, the walkway, all that kind of good
That
stuff.
was all just put in
Which
new.
if, what's that?
That was all just put in new.
Yeah, so I mean, which we could do, but I mean, that would create a big
Right.
impact on the park.
This is kind of a gazebo type, is that kind of what you're looking at?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I know when the park was put in back in, because I was on council back then in 2000, a gazebo was even talked about at that time, but we didn't do it, so I really think it's a good idea. So
The one
I
he's-
would support it.
It would have been really nice if this was done when they decided to redo
That
the
last time-
sidewalks and such over there.
Yeah.
Had we did the gazebo first and then did the sidewalks
Mhm.
to accommodate, right now it'd be an
Yeah.
awful small gazebo. So,
Yeah,
well,
well,
anyways, but I think that'd be a nice
I do
addition.
too, I think it'd be a nice idea.
And it's gonna be a fairly simple deal. I know he's not going into a lot of it, but basically the gazebo is gonna be pre-built
Right.
from the company we're getting it from. So it would be, we'd be able to put in the foundation pad,
And
gazebo would
we're
get
not
dropped
locked
off.
into a square, we can go to a rectangle if we.
Yeah,
need
oh, yeah,
to, whatever
yeah.
works.
Nice octagon, be
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, octagon,
And basically, all he's looking for tonight really is just the initial support, somebody to sign off, and then if a designated member of the city, or it could either be Bart or one of you guys or whatever, that would act as a representative, you know, a contact person for him, that would work with him on the design and location and all that.
I'll take that on.
I think Bart would be the ideal one to do
Yeah.
it, and I'll help him if necessary.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get a, unless there's any other question? Well, I'll take a motion for support of this project.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Can I ask one more question though?
Sure.
What kind of material? Is this gonna be maintenance free?
That's still up for debate, that's still part of the planning, there's different ones we can look at, there's either wood, there's also like that, what do they call that,
Tracks or-
Trex
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
There's different, it's all gonna depend on how much money he can
Oh, yeah.
raise. Okay, and you know, what's available in the size, so.
So poplar it is, yeah.
It's gonna be solid red cedar is what
There
it's
you
gonna
go.
be.
All right.
Okay, Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes. Congratulations and thank you, Christopher.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the rest of your plans.
Next presentation.
I have one question if I could, who do we talk to, or where should we bring a paperwork to get it signed at some point?
Here,
You sign it now?
Just right now, okay, I handed out all of our project packets, so on the back page of the project packet,
I'll get that.
Yeah, I think the mayor could sign that.
yeah, the very back page. And the other thing I have to give to you too, I'm gonna give you these if they want. This is just some information for the beneficiary, just to give you an idea. And it would be right there. Sign, print, date.
Mr. Upper like that.
So this would be set on a cement pad, so,
If that's the way that our representative from the city wants it, that's the way we'll do it. Or we could build a foundation, we could do whatever you guys feel is the best.
Pavers or?
Yep.
I believe structures over 8 by 8 have to have a permit. I want to check with the building inspector.
200 square feet, I think it is.
Yeah, whatever we have to do is.
200 square feet, I know on a shed.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can-
Are we good then?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we're down on the grand reopening of Choice One Bank.
So I'm representing the Memphis Area Chamber of Commerce, and Choice One Bank has scheduled their grand reopening for Tuesday, September 26th at 11 a.m. They're hoping for a ribbon cutting ceremony, and they're asking city and chamber attendance.
At what time was it?
11 a.m.
At 11 a.m.
Casey, can you do that?
What day?
It's Tuesday, September 26th.
I'll probably go too.
Great.
You said 11?
Yep. Good.
Good,
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you. Great. Next up, Ms. Wheeler.
My daughter's gonna go up and tell her you're
Okay.
come up.
I would expect again to see if anything came to resolution for her
I'm gonna say
property.
that right now, our tax girl, Amber, is buried in a lot of other stuff. She's playing catch up on, from our past assessor. So she just hasn't had the time to completely look into it. She has
Okay.
stuck up her feelers, she's getting some information.
Okay, good.
But right now, we're not moving too fast and furious on it, but we haven't forgot about you.
They want records going back to the 40s or something.
Yeah.
So-
What?
They want records going back to like the
they do.
40s, so there's a lot of.
So
That's
there's a lot of legwork to be done yet. So.
Okay,
Okay.
alright, so we probably get more.
That's where originally was platted, all of that was
Yeah.
I
at
know.
least 40,
Alright, yeah, so it's busy time this year, so probably later in the fall then, the next meeting probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Understandable.
The issue is a lot, and I was considering on it from last month we talked, we have the assessor working on it, because there's, just offhand, there's a lot of questions as far as, gotta change the legal description. I know a few years ago, we did send letters out to all the, I think, various property owners, so we're gonna have to get agreement from all the property owners, even when we get all the information, to figure out how that would go. I was gonna take the initiative myself, not with the assessor issues, I think Amber's much more qualified, but try to contact the Michigan Department of Transportation, here, our county structure, and see if I can get some feedback on just.
I can tell you right now, because I was contacted last year, there's somebody new sitting at a desk.
That's fine.
If we cut that off, our Act 51 money is gonna go down.
Well, that's one of the questions I wanted to have answered, exactly what kind of, these are.
But I wore her down
specific
last
figures
year,
we
she
should
said-
have to consider decision.
Because during their aerial shots and all, they're seeing something that doesn't exist and wondering what we're getting paid for. After
Yeah,
about 3 phone calls she
I don't want to
gave up,
speculate on
she
the
said, well,
part,
you
that's
know
why
what, I don't want to be the
go
one
right to
to
the
upset the apple
department
cart.
that has something,
I
should have the answers for us.
So that's why I think I had to drop a snowplow to make it look like that was,
Mark, we'll let Mr. Weaver look into it and see what we see.
perfect.
Just mind, the more information, the better, to make
Yeah.
decisions.
Oh, yeah.
You got one next to you too.
It's only 30 feet wide, but yes,
You got a
I
line.
realize that.
Well, line is better now.
It's
All
not
over.
an uncommon issue.
Yeah, they're all over.
We just need to figure out what to do with it and find what we can do.
Yep.
Alright.
Anything else, Lee?
They had big plans for that
Thank you.
area at one time.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's appreciate subdivision back there.
We don't have anybody from Parks and Recs. Chief?
Well, there is a senior dinner, Judy was tied up, there's a senior dinner Friday, I think it's 11 o'clock.
Not tomorrow, huh?
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Big buddy sandwich.
Chief, nothing?
Nothing business.
Bart?
You know, I know we have something on here regarding my overhead doors, but I also had, and that's why I forgot to ask you today, Donna. I was on that X-Mark, my newest mower had like $1,400 worth of work put into it. And I didn't see it on here.
No, I
It
didn't
was
see,
just under
I
$1,500.
didn't see the invoicing on it either.
Okay. Anyways,
Are they mailing the invoice?
no, I thought, yeah, I turned it in. That's how I know it's $1,400. Yeah.
I got it, so
You
you-
know, Mark, you know how much it is actually is?
It was not the exact number unless I want to start
Okay.
in Amber's.
I know you had to have it.
Yeah, it was like just under $1,500. They had to
And
redo
who
it.
did the work?
It would have been the lumberjack shack.
Yep.
That's where we bought it from.
I mean, I signed checks this afternoon and I did not see.
Yeah, I know.
When did you bring that in? Because
I think that was a couple of months ago.
No,
It
I
seems
just got it
Did
back.
we pay?
They had it about a week.
lumberjack sounds familiar, but
I thought you
The
had,
amount sounds-
mower maintenance kind of rings a penny bell, but it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, well, it was something that just went bang. Yeah, so they had it for about a week and a half. Anyways,
Well, and you've got two.
but it's not on here, so, well, yeah, but the other one's quite old too, so that's gonna have to go in.
And I know you've got other stuff that's gonna be on the agenda too, so.
Yeah, okay. Brick pavers. I don't know, is that on the agenda somewhere?
No, it's not on.
It's not gonna be?
No, you go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, we started some paver bricks for around, we had them put around the flagpole at the Millennium Park. And anyways, things weren't happening that fast and life and other things started happening and they kind of got forgotten about. And a gentleman stopped me across the street at the store and was asking about his brick. And I said, oh, and we do still hold his money, I think it's $30 or whatever, a month. And I said to him, I said, you know what, I'm sorry, but it's got lost due to everything going on in the city. But I'll ask the council about it. I'm looking for volunteers to take this project on. There's no way I got time to. Other than I trip over right by when I set my alarm down there.
You have the.
I'm so used to seeing it, but I really need somebody to take that on.
He has the bricks, and we got them, the initial ones we got done in Richmond.
Yeah.
But we waited for well over a year to get them back. And they're kind of reluctant to do it, but there is one application that we have now, and I think was sitting there for over a year.
Yeah, easy.
And that's the gentleman that asked.
And I know that you had some, I know I got some I wanted, anyway.
And so that's the only one we have, but since he already paid for it, we should take steps to get it done.
I know I called 3 different places and I didn't get them answers I wanted to hear. Maybe we should have just stayed right there in Richmond.
Well, we could stop in and see if they do one more, and then, but.
I'd like to do more than that. I just
Yeah,
feel
well,
I know what the intent was, but I can't play that game. I'm having trouble putting landscape around the line. I'll get to it, but I was hoping the Boy Scout would take care of that for us too.
So my understanding, we still have one more brick to be made, you know,
At least one.
Yeah, I got the bricks.
Okay.
We just gotta have, we used to have a list of names and that.
Okay.
How many bricks you talking about?
So we're, one,
Well,
there's only
really-
one that we have to have done now.
Wasn't up for like
He means
$80.
the project, how many bricks do you have
We
made
gotta
up?
install.
They can be installed, it's just like I get the names on the brick and then we'll pop out the blank bricks and put
Oh, I
the
see,
names.
so it's,
So it's already started.
the installations, I thought I was hearing drawings.
No, the installation, actually, when they did the downtown park, they installed the ones we did have.
Taking over the project and have somebody handle it.
You know,
Somebody handled it.
there's a few names over there, but there's more. I know Larry had some on the list, but he actually don't. He generously paid for. I had a couple that,
So Just
I wanted to pay
generating
for it
bricks.
myself, and there was other people.
Generating the bricks is the issue, generation of them, getting the lettering.
Yeah, getting the lettering done, picking them out, drawing them off.
Find someone to do it. That's it.
Oh, I see.
Do the legwork.
Someone to write the bricks on.
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
I know, I Googled some place, I talked to some people, but
You'd think like monument places would do that.
You would
Anywhere
think.
that sells a headstone or
I
something.
had a couple that I could picture them doing this, you know. One flat out said no, out of three.
Well, the laser place up there in Richmond, they do that.
Yeah.
Is that where you were trying to?
Yeah, well, they've done it. The only ones we got done was from there, but it took them like over a year to get them done, and we kept getting promises, and anyway, we pulled it from them, and I kinda wish we didn't now.
You can find out, because Richmond has the same thing over there by their historic park, you know, by the tennis courts and stuff. They have them too, and I'm wondering where they might get them from. I mean, they may shop locally too.
But I know there's a specific size, and Detroit's the only one that carries this particular size brick. And like I say, I couldn't even tell you how many I have now. That's on standby, waiting to be engraved. And then we just pull out the blank ones and replace them once they do get engraved.
I think you had like 8 to spare, so that you could send 8
Yeah,
out
oh,
at a
easy
time.
8,
Because
yeah.
when you take an empty one out, you have to put something in that spot.
Right.
Because they're already spaced and they're all
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
She told us they can't do them because we were up doing them.
Yeah, we were doing them.
I went and picked them up, she says we can't do them. That's why I took them out of there.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
So we were gonna go check at a monument place in Mount Clemens
Right.
and just
I know I called one on Cass.
kind of dropped the ball there because
That's
you
what
guys
he thought.
changed your mind on stuff and the price was different or something
Yeah.
and whatever.
But anyways, had he not said anything, even though I'm tripping over him every day, setting my alarm, that's about as close as it gets to having anything done. I really like to continue that. It's just, I'm seeking.
I will check into some places in Mount Clemens and see if they can do them.
Yeah.
I'll look into
I
it.
guess, I mean, I greatly appreciate it.
Right.
I'll see what they charge, and it might be more than 30. I think the last ones were 30, but
And that's what we're trying to look for, a uniform price, no matter.
I was even looking to get one and try
Oh,
and
yeah.
do it, but
Yeah.
they're like $3,000 for
Oh.
a engraver, so.
Yeah.
Do your own.
Thank you, Kevin.
I'll check into it, let you know.
Anything else outside of what's on the
I
agenda?
think I stirred a little bit there, like I said, I'd really like to see that project get moving again.
Doug, have you got
Before we move
anything?
on, can I ask you a question? So when you talked to DOT about lowering the Act 51 money,
Yeah, they called me actually.
how much is it gonna lower it?
I didn't have that figure yet.
Does it go by road mile, or how does
Yeah.
it work?
Yes,
Yeah.
miles.
So every year we get a map, Donna receives a map on it, and then there's a, we gotta check them.
I know what that
Yeah.
is, but I mean, it's,
But they show that particular McGuire.
so is the road next to my house on the map still? Is that what's being done, right?
That's what I used to see it, so you,
There's sidewalk down there, so I know there was a road,
I mean, yeah, that.
down the hill. North of my
It's
house.
not on the map anymore, is it?
No, it's not on the map.
I don't think so. I
So
think that-
I'm wondering if it's on that map.
McGuire, Oak, and Lion Drive are actually still on the maps. If you like look at Google Maps or something like that, they still actually.
I got it right in my office, I don't know if Donna has any, but I'm so used to seeing them.
It's by the mile though, I mean, Act 51 money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it can't be that much. It's less than a mile, I'm sure, all the roads that we talked about abandoning.
Yes.
Okay.
Her big question was, where is it at?
I know.
You
I know.
know, so. Anyways, I dropped the plow and she must have did an overview and saw that I was maintaining. She called me back and says, let's just not push it this year anyways.
Doug, have you got anything outside the agenda items?
No.
They cover all bases there with our administrators? All right, next up, adoption or amendment of the agenda. There's one little amendment. And that's gonna be under J, new business, and it's gonna be 7, 8, and 9, not 7, 8, 10.
What is it?
Nothing.
Just change
It's
it.
just a number.
Nothing, just a
Number.
number. It was just a number, that's all. No
No,
biggie.
tonight.
I make a motion to accept the
Oh, I-
agenda as presented.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver, Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Okay, approval of the regular and special meeting minutes of August 1st, 2023. Can I get a motion unless there's some changes?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
All right, next up, presentation and approval of the August disbursements of $263,384.92, and the electronic wire transfers of $11,759.19. Can we get a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the August disbursements of 263,384.92, and electronic wire transfers of 11,759.19.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Next up, communications. Could I get a motion to post communications on file?
So moved.
Support.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson.
All right, next up, with that, the communications, the Memphis Lions Club is looking for approval to have their annual mint sales at Main and Boardman Road from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on September 22nd and September 23rd. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
All right, next up, under unfinished business, fire committee meeting. Bill, did you want to talk on this?
I met with two members of the fire committee, we discussed the two biggest issues with the department right now, that being personnel and a new engine. Currently, we have a member on the department who is also an employee of the DPW. He would be a very valuable asset to me if he was allowed to respond to calls during the day.
That ain't gonna happen.
Doug, can I make a suggestion on this? This is
So much for that discussion.
also do with the financing and also do with the purchase of probably a new pumper,
Yeah.
which is, according to this, is $500,000. Currently, unaudited, we have about $414,000 in our equipment replacement fund. But what I'd like to do, and I talked to you earlier, and for you to make me some, evaluate your runs over a 5-year period, and let me know, and I'll make some spreadsheets up on cost analysis of various things and how we might approach this, and then have a special meeting with the full council on all of these issues. If council will go along with that.
That employee one, we were pointing out, it's been nothing but a pain in the rear.
Yeah,
He
let's,
had
let's
schooling
let's
to
discuss
do.
that. We did have
I'm calling him to
personnel
come in to plow snow while he's off of school, getting educated for fire. God bless his heart. But when I talked to him and interviewed him, he's 24/7 to me.
Yeah. I know.
And then we allowed him to do that without getting paid.
Yeah, Bart, we discussed.
It's not a
that.
good idea.
We discussed that today, and I'd like to have a special.
I mean, I don't have a bullpen of people.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
not-
don't either.
And I'm about to stretch this far. Yeah, but it's not full time.
Well, it may not, I guess the thing is, we're in a bind now, and I'm not yay or nay.
You don't
but
think
we-
I'm
we
not in a
need to
bind?
all- Bart, let's talk about it.
Yeah, well,
Well, that's the talk, to me.
Well,
I'm
I-
saying there's no flipping way you're gonna do it, with two guys.
no, I.
Been there, did it before, I can't get work done now.
No, I agree with you, Bart, I know it's a problem, but let's have all this, when we get everything, we'll have a special meeting on this.
I can't believe it even got brought up.
Well, we gotta talk about these things, Bart, I'm not saying it can go one way or another, but, we're trying to
Well,
solve
it's common
problems.
sense, that's let me know how much you know what goes on.
Well, I'm not claiming to be the all-seeing council person, I'm new here, so you'll have to forgive my ignorance on some of the issues. However, when it comes to.
You know the last time I had a vacation?
Pardon me?
You know the last time I've had a vacation?
Bart, we're not talking about your vacations, we're talking about perhaps finding ways to cover medical emergencies and
He's
also,
not even
like I
licensed to
said,
be a medical.
there are a lot of departments that do cross-train. Could be something to do available, I
I
don't think
mean,
it's a
I
bad
think it'd be
idea to
fantastic.
entertain. I'm
Take
not
it
saying
from
we're
our-
going
take it from
there,
the
but let's
police
at least talk
officers.
about it, not
I
don't
think
get
the
upset
police
about
officers do a
it.
very good job.
Bart's got a legitimate complaint here, so
You know what,
I'm making a
let's
motion, I'm making a motion, we table this, and when Doug gets together with me, and I'll look at some of this thing, and we'll
You gotta
table
look at some of the numbers in the fire engine
Right.
and,
Yeah.
But
So I make a motion, we table it.
I think Doug has a legitimate complaint here too,
No,
right? And that's no
that's-
disrespect to
no,
him anyway.
I
I
make-
Where do you
I
think
make a
I'm gonna
motion
get
to table it.
people to help me?
I'm not-
support.
I'm not trying to argue or anything.
It's not
like that.
arguing, I'm saying no. And if you guys think you know more than I do about the DPW,
Nobody's saying
I don't
that.
feel so.
Nobody
okay,
is saying
we've got a motion to table this.
Support.
You get a vote, please?
Murder,
Yes.
What are we-
Mazer,
What was the motion? Can I get a?
to table.
And until.
I will evaluate it
Special
from a
meeting.
financial standpoint and get back with
So
him.
nothing is
I'll
done.
work with Doug.
Well, can we have Bart in on that meeting?
Oh,
So
yes,
we have
definitely,
all-
no.
oh, yeah, I
I've
definitely wanna
already
be part of
talked
that.
on this.
Well, I mean, let's all talk together on it.
Yeah,
I don't wanna do it compartmentalized.
No,
Just start
no.
voting, taking the other part.
Bart will.
Third. Okay, Mazer, Table.
Table? Yes?
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer.
So the motion is to table it. I will say no. I would like to discuss this now, but.
Okay, so I've got, Martyr, Mazer, Schneider, Sofa, Wilson, Weaven, yes, Zimmer, no, so motion carried
Thank you.
to table.
All right, moving on. New business. Mr. Russian, you wanna speak to us on your on Bell River Road and
Certainly.
what our possibilities are here?
Yeah, who doesn't know me, I'm the county commissioner in St. Clair County for the 6 townships. And also, half the city of Memphis, but most of it's in Macomb. But you got approximately 300 and some residents in St. Clair County. At our last full board meeting, and I pushed really hard because there's a push to spend the money that we have roughly $16.8 million left. And a lot of that was potentially gonna go to a 26-mile road economic development. That got put down pretty easily. And what we did do at the last meeting is allocate $1 million for each district, so each commissioner has $1 million. And I'm gonna be very close to what I did the last time, is take because I think everybody needs equal representation, that's just the way I do my job. We got 23,000 residents that I roughly represent. It comes up to a little over $40 per resident. So what I proposed, and I talked with Larry and I've talked with Doug Pratt, and we finally got the money. I talked with Bill Hazelton, so I like the letter that you drafted, but it's Bill Hazelton, our director at the Road Commission. And the money's for the ARPA funds, and the documentation that is required for the balance of the money has to be very specific, and we have to do it. I can do that with Bill Hazelton at the Road Commission using the Clean Water Act. He can do ditching and culverts, and what he's gonna do with that, he can take care of all the documentation. So we don't have to hire somebody special. They're gonna do a consultant for the balance of the municipalities throughout St. Clair County to have a consultant to assist them with the paperwork to make sure that falls within the federal guidelines. I've already got that covered with Bill Hazelton. So the Board of Trustees at Riley Township have already said that they would take their monies that they're gonna be potentially receiving and dedicate it to this road because that really serves a lot of Riley residents. What I need from you guys, and the letter is pretty spot on, need Bill Hazelton to have complete control over the project, dedicate in writing that you will support $250,000 for the construction of rebuilding Bell River Road from Boardman Road through the city limits until it hits Riley Township. And the monies that would be needed in addition to that would be coming from Riley's share, and from the balance of the other 5 townships, I will take enough money from that to make sure that the project gets done. So I need you guys to get on board, and if you would, draft a letter, because if it doesn't get done, I'll be spending the money someplace else. So we definitely want to get the
We
road
don't want
fixed.
you to do that.
No, that's nice.
And it's my understanding that they'll be working on that and try to do it in the spring or late or early
Right.
summer.
Initial discussion, I'll be getting with Bill Hazelton on the exact reporting and the financials for the balance of everything, because he's got to do that to make sure that it's in compliance with the ARPA funds. And doing it that way will be much easier. But yes, he wants to do the project in the spring of 2024 from the initial discussion, because asphalt's a little cheaper then. And he can get it scheduled correct for that time, get the engineering and everything that needs to be done. And you guys are familiar with our road commission, they do excellent work, so I'm a big supporter of our road commission.
Yeah, well, Bart and I attend meetings with them when we're available. Sometimes we miss, but we try to, and we do go.
Yeah, the scouts meetings, yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we approve.
Well, before we go, does anybody have?
Yeah.
Is 250 the max that we're contributing?
Yes.
I need $250,000 for you from the initial discussions, and we'll take care of any additional monies. Whatever that cost is, it'll come from Riley Township's share and the county. I'll make sure there's enough money to get that paid.
It's an amazing deal.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it should have been
It's a
done
lot-
with the other
That's a
one.
lot of work for 250,000.
Well, I've talked with Bruce Christie, of course, and of course he works in your city here. And from Columbus, he's in support of it, so is Liz Masters from Wales Township, so I have 2, and also Bill Wynn from Berlin Township. The initial support, I haven't given them any figures or anything yet, but it also serves their residents also, so they'd like to get the road fixed themselves.
Any other questions?
Where will we get the money?
We got it.
We'll have a bake sale.
I made you a spreadsheet there of what we have in there. And of course, we don't have audited figures yet for this last fiscal year. But I did make you a spreadsheet and,
Yeah, I did see that.
and I made a note at the bottom there that the funds can come from the general
general
fund
fund.
or the road millage as well. So I'll make a motion that we approve the expenditure of $250,000 for St. Clair Road, Bell River Road.
Support.
Construction.
And I know this, being a commissioner, this time you get to ask questions myself, but none of these funds, it's gonna be part of your 2024 budget where you don't have to allocate. I don't know if your budget starts on January 1st. or if
I know,
it does.
July.
July 1st.
July 1st.
Okay, then you have to dedicate the monies prior to.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
If I could, just one other thing, if I could, because it's come up with the county commissioners, and Steve Smasco, he's District 1, and myself, and Doug Pratt, and with the fire department, what we did with the sheriff's department is we allocated monies to cover additional radios, or radios upgrades, and we want to do that for every fire department associated with St. Clair County. We're getting initial figures on that, and we have $9.8 million left. What we want to do is take it for that and have every fire department get
So everybody can talk to each other?
correct and upgrade radios. So we're going to be working on that. I hope we got support from all the commissioners, but we are working on that, and I'll keep you updated as that goes forward.
The radio system in the county, they want to start encrypting it so that people on scanners can't hear what's going
Can't
on.
pull it off.
Unfortunately, most of our radios aren't able to be encrypted right now, so
Didn't you just buy new radios?
we bought 6.
Yeah.
The 6 new ones, yeah, but that includes the radios that we have in our vehicles that are 20 years old now.
As you know, technology always goes on. You get something brand new today, and then tomorrow we'll
Yeah.
get something else. Like the 800 megahertz system when that first came through.
Yeah, you want to left for the police department, we need a couple radios too.
Well, that might be a tough sell for the city of Memphis Police Department.
Yeah,
but,
we're switching too, so we need the radios as well.
If you want to tell me what that costs, I'll see what I can do. But that'd be a pretty tough sell, because then we're gonna have to, and that's just why I do my job as county commissioner. If we give it to you, then I have to give it to every other city, the city of Yale.
If they ask for it, you know.
Well, there's a project going on in 26 Mile Road, just so you're aware. A $1.1 million grant that's been asked for from the MEDC from Ira Township. And I have no problem supporting Ira Township. What I do have a problem is if we start picking and choosing the 31 municipalities to get monies that the rest don't get. What will be coming in was put out by Dan Casey, an additional $550,000, a 50% match, would have to go for the engineering costs for the new water treatment plant. I support them doing that. They'll be getting their monies, but not near that amount. But I cannot support, that would be giving you guys money and not giving somebody else. There was, if you heard my speech with Davy Crockett, what they did in, and I've got a minute for about a 2-minute story. Davy Crockett, when he served in the House of Representatives, they had a fire at Georgetown, and the very next day they allocated $20,000 to help Georgetown. The House Representative allocated the money. When he went back to run for office, re-election, and he went up to this farmer, and the farmer says, "I can't vote for you again." Doesn't matter that it was 20,000, it could be 20 million. You guys, when you start dedicating our money for whatever you want to pick and choose, you represent us first. You don't represent other places. So I represent District 6, and that's how I always do it. And everybody's going to get as close to equal that I can get, unless there's an actual emergency, like a tornado, for an example, or something like that. But other than that, everybody's going to get an equal share. And if you guys have any questions, please call me at any time, and I'll be here anytime you need me.
I just want to thank you.
What's that?
I just want to thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering about that.
Thank you, because this has been a pain.
Well,
Now we'll move forward on it.
We got
We need to get a sign though that we can put up after the road's fixed. The speed limit's still 25.
If you got enough, that's back then the police chief and my wife and I got married. Very first car we bought, brand new, 1998 Grand Prix GTP. It was a fast car. We've been married 49 years, so we got married here almost 49. Got married in 75. But I was coming down the hill. We had a nice day in Fort Heron, and I'm coming down the hill doing 25. Got up to 28. My wife said, "Daddy, you're speeding." Well, of course, I'm a guy. I start going up the hill. Slow down, and I trumped on it. And right at the top of the hill, the police chief is sitting there, and I'm doing probably 65 miles an hour. And he pulls me over, and I remember back then there was a story in the Voice that the city of Memphis and the city of Richmond were had a quota system to write so many tickets. So when the police chief pulled me over, and I asked, could I see that he actually, because he said he clocked me at 45 miles an hour, which I knew wasn't true, because I was going much faster than that. I had no problem being responsible. And I wrote a very nice letter. I pleaded guilty, and evidently the judge wanted to see who wrote this letter, because I made reference to the article, and I said if they were able to write tickets without any proof, they can do that for anybody at any time and any reason. Well, the judge liked the letter, saw me there, and anyways, he let me off. But I was guilty, and I had no problem paying the ticket, so I did plead guilty to it, but the judge wanted to see who did it. Anyways, and I go 25. I don't know if it was you or your deputy, but in Richmond today, right on my tail, I left, brought my grandson because he plays on your Memphis football team. And there's another one, and then he's sitting down at the park now.
Are you elected to your office?
Yes, I'm an elected county commissioner. I've been serving over 13 years. I was the township supervisor for Riley for 6 years. So going on 20 years.
I'll have to watch for your name. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need some type of letter, or I just want to make sure.
Yes, I do. I need an official letter that we can give Bill Hazelton and the road commission that he will be, getting $250,000 from the city of Memphis, so he can include that in the cost to get the project done.
Should they include like the minutes of this meeting or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think about it. As long as it's an official letter that you guys have already approved, or by motion you approve it.
So there you got it.
Write the letter signed by the mayor and send it
If you
over.
would, please, Sean. And if you can get it to Bill Hazelton, myself, if not, I'll get a copy anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Next up, Mr. White.
Thanks. See you, Jeff. Mr. Mayor, you need a motion to approve that amount? If you're already.
Didn't we do that already?
We did that. We already did it.
We did it
Oh,
already.
okay.
We just got second.
Approved the
second.
250.
Oh, yeah, we approved that.
Yeah, we approved that.
It's all yours.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I hope to be your shortest presenter of the meeting.
Yeah.
Just a couple of quick updates. One, not so much to do with SMART, but just letting you know, while the EMS is seeing historic call volume, thanks to our building just north of the community here, having one just south of the community, response times are up, actually considerably up in this entire area. So we're very pleased by that. We run into some of the same staffing issues that the fire department does, and getting the same equipment, not just having the money for it, but literally once you order it, getting it here. We just waited about 14 months for a truck, and we're told our next one will be here sometime early 2025. So we should keep older equipment for a little bit longer. So just wanted to mention that while I had council's attention tonight. And like I said, the news on Builder was wonderful. As most of you know, I'm a resident of this way. I live in Riley Township. And not only do I appreciate being a resident, but what I really appreciate it for is, I'm not sure what's worse, the fact that it's longer to respond to emergencies getting up Bell River, or whether once we put the people on the stretcher, we have to bring them down because of the condition of that road. So this is great news for all the residents of our area. With that, before you tonight, it's kind of an annual ritual, I guess the best way to put it. We come before you with the SMART, what they call municipal and community credit contracts. These operate our small shuttle buses in your community. The numbers on those since COVID, the numbers of riders on those continue to go up tremendously throughout the area. The one group that I wasn't certain was meeting until tonight, somebody mentioned it at council, so you might just want to remind them that certainly if they'd like you to come out and present to them, or they ever need the bus, is your senior group. It sounds like that group may be meeting regularly again. They used to use it quite a bit pre-COVID, and I don't know if they've used it as much since then, so please, who's ever taken charge of that these days, let them know that we're here, we're available for them, that like presentation to get a hold of them. The SMART municipal and community credit contracts went up just a little bit this year. There's two different pots of money. Basically, there's $722 that come from the state. They call those municipal credits. They're placed there in a statutory fashion. And then there is an amount called community credits. Your amount last year was $2,460. This year it is $2,583. Those dollars come from the millage that Macomb County residents pay towards SMART. We're asking for those funds to be transferred to the Richmond Lennox EMS for the continued operation of our small buses. I'll tell you one piece of bad news, because nobody can be this happy all the time, right? That is, we learned this year that on our transit service last year we paid $21,839 in auto insurance costs for those vehicles to operate. This year we will pay $69,011. We had a $47,172 increase. Apparently the underwriter that writes for municipal insurances, at Michigan Township Car Plan, Michigan Municipal League, those kind of insurance operations, has decided that community transit is a high risk, and everybody's rates went up. We went to 5 different municipal insurers, and this was the best rate that we could get. So that will cut into things a little bit. We'll just have to kind of watch our, dimes and nickels. We don't intend on having to cut service at this point in time. Now we see that year after year. We'll have to, either look to SMART for additional funding, or talk to the communities about how to go forward. But at this point, all we're requesting is the annual contribution of the municipal and community credit funds. And I'm available for any questions should council have them.
That's just for vehicle insurance?
That's just vehicle insurance. It's vehicle liability.
Right.
Most of that's the auto piece of it. If you break it down, I'd say 75% of that is, the vehicles, and the other 25% is a little bit of buildings, errors and omissions, those kind of things you find in your standard,
So the catastrophic thing that the state did didn't really help you, did it?
No, it hasn't appeared to help a bit, at least on our end of things.
Any other questions from Mr. White? Thank you, sir. Can I get a motion to sign the contract for 2024 for municipal credit and community credits?
So moved.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Thank you all. Don, if you can just, you can just
Thank you.
email me that and I'll make sure the folks at Smart get it. There's not really a Brett or Brett right now. He used to be the guy that was always
Oh,
up there
yeah.
from Smart. He retired, so if you get it to me, I'll get it downtown.
All right,
But
thank
you
you.
can send me a copy of your minutes with that.
Okay.
We always ask for that as well. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you again.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, next up, this is the fire department with the ice cream. Is this like looking to go to an electronic deposit?
Correct. The company that we use for billing fire-related stuff here in the city,
Right.
they used to mail us checks, they're getting rid of checks, they wanna go to
It's the way
electronic.
the world's moving right now anyway, so. Does anybody have any issue? If not, I'll take a motion to allow them to get deposits done electronically.
I see, it's a free service. That's great.
Probably costs them a lot less than handling checks.
Yep. I'll make that motion.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes. So will this be a separate account, Donna?
No, it'll go right to our general fund, so they'll have our routing number and everything. But that's the way things are going now, so.
Is there any way you can tie in, like, I know I had a lot of people I saw paying water bills that we did.
That would bother me any.
It, for,
Is that in the future maybe, or?
If
they told, when we talked to the bank about it before, they told us it was too costly for us to do it, we're too small.
Okay,
I mean, if it changes, I'll talk to Michelle again.
yeah. Maybe ice cream can do it.
But somebody, a lot of people do it through their own banks. You know, we just get the check, they have it monthly written out to us and,
Oh.
yeah, and it comes from their
I never
bank.
thought of doing it that way.
Do we do that? Did we take a vote already? Okay. So, move forward. UHY LLP, our accountants. Does anybody want to go over this thing in detail?
No, no, there's, you know, a lot of it's the same as it was before. I did read it over, but there is a few changes, but they don't really affect us too much. The only thing of interest, of course, is the audit expense itself not to exceed $16,500, and the gas fee number 84, which has the standard has to be done that not to exceed $1,000. They do that every year, so yeah, they have other things that doesn't really respond. They now want timely, remain responsible, compensate for our time expended. They want, with a render each month at work progress. In other words, they, I think that before when the audit was done, we paid them. And apparently they want progressive payments, so I don't think that really should be an issue.
Oh, okay, this is as they're referring to the audit, just keep paying it.
And the only other one really wouldn't apply to us is that they're losing help a lot. And so if you hire an employee at any time during a relationship or with 1 year at the end of the relationship, you will be billed a recruiting fee of 30% of the employees. So I think that's kind of protective because they train somebody and then somebody leaves. So
Right.
that's it. But other than that, I think it's basically what we've always said. So if you want, I'll make a motion to approve the contract with our auditors and the audit not to exceed 16.5 and the gas fee 84 not to exceed 1,000.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
All right, next up, Parks and Rec. Our village, we have $1,694 coming to us to spend in our park. Anybody got any great ideas, other than the bench or picnic table?
It
or
has,
whatever?
it has to be at that one park though, right?
Yeah.
It has to be at the river.
The ones I got feedback from was a dog park, if that was you,
Dog park.
a pickleball court, and I did the golfy thing I put out there.
There's been a lot of talk for a while about a dog park, and all that's really required for a dog park really is a fence.
And a sailing form.
Yeah,
And a what?
which is just fencing, right, you know?
Is there any
It's
liability?
a double door, basically, so you go in one, you close the door behind you, then you go in the next gate, so that dogs can't just run out one door.
You'd have
Yeah.
to have a little trash bag thing.
And we'd have to have little doggy doo-doo bags or whatever there, that we might be able to find some business in town that might be willing to sponsor that sort of thing, where they could get their name on it.
Maybe the
So-
chamber.
Or the
Can't they just
chamber.
walk the dog down our trails?
Huh?
Can't they walk their dog down the
They
trails?
can, yeah.
I don't think you can get it done for 1,600.
Are there any
I would
liability
say-
concerns with that, like insurance wise, like if somebody's dog attacks another dog, is
I don't
that?
think
The dog owner's responsible for that.
It's the same thing, it's just,
Same thing as if it
I would
happened
think
at
you
any
could
city
put
park, you
signs
know,
out
you're
there.
certainly liable.
Not responsible.
well, and I don't think that for,
We have insurance.
you know, how big of an area you're gonna fence for
Oh, I don't
700
know,
bucks?
I'm just,
Not very big.
Not very big, but it might just be enough for
You
other
don't,
people.
you don't have to spend this money this year, you can carry it over for a bigger
Yeah, you can.
project. Riley Township does it.
You can, they don't like you
Oh.
doing that, but they've let
Oh,
us
gosh,
on a
we've
few
been, should have
times
been
they
doing
let
that
us
for
do
years
that.
then.
Yeah, let's do that.
We were told that we had to pay basically.
But you still gotta give them a reason what you want, even if you're gonna carry it over.
Well, it's not like-
Something
well,
bigger.
We got to give them a reason.
Huh? You got a little while to think of something.
Cause there was already talk about.
I mean, the whole idea of a dog park is that you can go there and let your dogs off the leash.
Yeah.
That's the difference between taking your dog down the trail. Just
Which
so-
people do, but you're not supposed to.
Now, what part of the park are you?
It's not against the law in
You were
Memphis.
thinking in the back,
In the
right?
back?
Yeah, just, you know, in the open area, but it would be
In
talk
the
with,
back.
it would be talk with Bart and what.
By the pine trees, you mean?
No,
By the
we
trail?
have, it has to be used over here, down.
Yeah, so I said, when you said in the back, I don't know if you mean by the pond, or you mean in the back half of the,
In the back half of the,
Where the pine trees are, I think.
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
they're talking
somewhere
about.
over there, yeah. And it would be, you know, talk with Bart.
Kinda like
because
where
obviously.
kind of an area where the trash
There-
bins used to
There's
be.
gonna have to
The
be a gate
recycling
there and be
bins, right.
issues with them mowing it and stuff like that.
And
'cause
weed whipping it
You
and.
know, but it adds more maintenance to the DPW, but it's just a. it
And
was
I don't know
just
if
a
anybody
thought.
else had any other ideas. if they
It was
could
just a
get back.
thought, well, the other
I'll take a
idea,
trainload of stone.
the other idea that's been kicking around was, someone brought up the skate park.
That was John.
That was John, I mean, but if we could roll that over into other years, although the location of the skate park would probably be, in my opinion, better
He wanted.
over
it
here,
there, yeah.
near the police station and the emergency services, just in case.
On the skate park, I think you're talking thousands of dollars.
Well, it's a grant.
hundreds of thousands.
No, there's a
He
grant
was,
though.
he was looking
Oh,
at
yeah,
that.
there is a grant.
There's a,
You need that black gold or
Yeah.
cement, and that's not
That's
cheap.
how, I believe that's how Armada built theirs.
Armada raised $225,000 for theirs.
They raised it though, I mean, that's
Yeah.
something we could raise
Yeah.
too, we don't have to just,
Get a big rock that we can paint all the time, like everybody else.
but, you know, Armada has a nice one, now Port Huron used the same grant and built like a world-class one, that's like pretty crazy. Right.
That one in Armada's pretty
Just,
nice.
I guess
Well,
some
so-
ideas, I don't know.
So food for thought right now, I mean, you know, when do they know?
If we can hold it over till next year, I say we do that.
Yeah, have more money.
Okay.
I'd come up with other ideas.
Put that on a list
More
of things,
time,
you know,
more
dog park, I think I'm not a
I'll do
golfer,
that.
but I
I'll
think
put down
the
more
golf thing
insurance,
was
we'll
actually
have a few things,
a
all
pretty
right.
decent idea.
What?
The golf net?
Oh, the frisbee or whatever that is.
No.
No,
golf nets.
no, just a
No,
golf
that's
net.
golf net.
Basically like,
Drive balls into a big net.
kinda like a giant soccer net that you could, you know, take and go out there with your driver and smack balls in the net
Was
and
that our
catch them, so you don't have
packet?
to chase them.
Oh, sure is.
And you can just flip it over and then mow and then flip it back.
Oh, yeah, never knew anything about that.
Yeah.
Is that
So
what you
just some
wanna do,
ideas, but if we roll it till
Bob?
next year.
I just thought it was a good idea. I don't golf, so it doesn't matter to me.
No, I don't go through it, so.
Okay, so vote to roll over till next year.
How about a paintball park or whatever that's called, I don't know. You can play war games and stuff.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Like me and Eric talked about,
Put it on the list.
a while back about like
I don't think that's gonna cost
an RC
$1,600.
track.
Yeah.
But you gotta bring in a bunch of clay for the track and, you know, it's would have to be maintained.
Well, when we clean our lagoons out, there's a lot of clay.
Is there a motion? No, there's no motion to hold it.
All right. There was a motion out there for it?
I make a motion to hold the funds over till next year, yeah, but we have to come up with a plan and tell them why we're holding it.
I can write down a few things and just say we're unsure. And
All right, I'll support it then.
So I don't get that train load of gravel?
No.
Okay.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
You can fill your fund.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson.
Bart, would Nationwide Fence, will they do just a 4-foot cyclone fence?
They have a minimum, they'll do a 4-foot.
They will?
But if the job doesn't hit a minimum, they're gonna charge you a minimum, but again,
Okay.
I'm not sure the size of this.
I know they do a lot of big projects.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they're kind of been moving away from any like residential work and all that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot commercial.
But there's a lot of fence contractors around.
Yeah, good luck with it.
Okay. Moving forward,
I know, I do too.
planning commission resignations, we had resignations from Leslie Henley and Tammy Wareham. And we're gonna look for somebody to try and fill these positions, if anybody knows anybody
There's
that's
one
available.
on there already.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on it.
there's another.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to accept the resignations?
Yeah, can I get a motion to accept the resignation?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Leslie Henley from the planning commission.
We made it Leslie and,
Tammy,
And Tammy.
together?
we had two.
I was thinking we're gonna make 2 separate motions, but okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Support?
Or,
Are you supporting?
yeah, if nobody else did.
Is this just for Leslie now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Okay, for Tammy,
Motion, please?
Make a motion to accept the resignation from Tammy Wallahan.
Support.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer.
Yes.
All right, we're looking to have John Locke, appointed to the planning commission. I can't see the name of John, but,
He's right here.
Right here.
You're good.
Hi, John.
How you doing?
Good.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Locke to the planning commission with a term to expire July 31st of 26.
Support.
Thanks,
Mazer,
Thank you. Thank you.
John,
Schneider?
thanks for stepping up.
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
Can I have one more? Who's considering it? So we should have the seats there.
It should be
There
filled.
may be 2 others, but.
Okay.
While we're on the subject, I know at one time we talked about the planning commission doing some training, but did that already happen and I missed it, or is that still being talked about?
I took a Michigan State class earlier in, well, end of last year
All right.
on zoning and just, number of.
I mean, the rest of the planning commission.
No.
Pardon me?
Whenever there's planning stuff, training, just leave it out on the table for them, for their meeting. So whether they take it or not, or Amber puts it in packets sometimes.
Okay.
So anything that comes up. So you might want to talk to them and take on training.
I passed on the textbook to Kenny. He's making use of it. He wasn't able to go to class, it was like 10 weeks or something.
Oh, okay. But I mean, they have little one-day
Yeah,
classes all the
workshops.
time. Workshops, that's what they have. So if anyone wants to go, we would pick up the bill.
I also submitted a name to, did you get that? Sally Morgan was interested in that also.
Oh, no, she never told me.
Oh.
And I was talking to her the other day.
Oh, I thought she had, okay, just throw it out there for.
Okay, I'm gonna write her name down then.
Oh, it's good to know who's willing to serve.
No, I keep a list. So good. All right.
All right, next up, set our fall burn dates from October 7th to November 18th, 2023, with the exception of October 30th and 31st.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson, Weaver, Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
All right, next up, police uniform allowance. Did you want to talk on this, chief?
No, it's not really police issues, it's payroll issue.
Pretty self-explanatory, it's obviously oversight.
Yeah.
If there's no questions, I'll make a motion to make our officers whole.
Support?
Sofa,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
All right, next up, bill from RDM overhead doors. This is an invoice to fix, is this the big overhead door at DPW?
Yeah, it involved both of them actually. I first called them down for the north overhead door, and they got that working. And the very next day, the garage door opener on the south side went out.
Okay.
So
So was this to
that's
replace
actually-
most of the drives? I mean,
They just replaced the south side with a new overhead. They were able to repair, they were looking at 27 years old, you know, so.
Okay.
That's probably the most, I know that's the most I've spent on the doors.
Okay, could I get a motion to pay RDM overhead doors for,
I'll make a motion, we approve the RDM overhead doors in the amount of $10,060.
Support?
Wilson,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Martyr,
yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
All right, from the mayor. One, I'm glad to see that we're moving forward with getting Boardman Road done. And great news from Mr. Rushing about the moving forward on getting Bell River Road, fixed finally and with a lot of backup funding from surrounding municipalities. And other than that, I don't really have anything.
I don't have anything either, so.
Larry?
I got three things, I'll try to be fast. Okay,
Come on, Larry.
John and I had a meeting on Wednesday, August the 16th, at Canada with Frank Demers of the MML on risk management. And on workman's comp, the mod rate was modification rate. Anything below 100 is good, and our rate for the for 3 years was 80.83, and 1 year was 0.84. So that was a very good on that. And the other one on the loss control, we had reviewed that as well, and of course we had the fire department had one, and that was 13,000, and the RT Holdings, that was just under 23,000. And so there's only one that's outstanding now, and that's not said, it's untold. So anyway, we had very good ratings on that. So that's one issue. The other issue was on the Choice One CD, and I think Donna called you with that. And I approached the bank over here, didn't have the authority, but I went up to the ladder to Walter Bargen, I think his name is, and raised the rate to 5%. So that is another almost $7,700 more. So our rate will get $13,741. I'd be interested in that. And the third issue is on the grant that we got, and I did make a spreadsheet out there explaining what we're getting, and there's only really a couple figures you're really interested in, and the 1-year bonds will be at $355,000.
How much?
$355,000. The interest rate is 1.875, which shows 85,126. The total will be 441.26. Average payment will be 22,000 a year. And the other payment, and I think we talked about through the months here, but we'll have to pay a cash payment of $192,650, and that is because the original original amount was, 1,420,000, and when they got quoted, it went up to 1,612,000, so we had to pay the difference, so that's all I have.
All right. Mr. Weaver?
Look forward to working on the fire department funding and personnel issues, and I trust that working together, we can come up with a solution.
Robbie?
I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Zimmer?
Nope.
I'm good. Eric?
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor, motion to adjourn.
Okay.